This is the Dallas Morning News. It's Monday, April 14th. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 90. More clouds will move in this evening with a low of 61. Here are today's headlines. The teenager accused of fatally stabbing another student in Frisco earlier this month is set to appear in court today to learn whether his $1 million bond would be reduced. 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony has been in Collin County Jail on a murder charge for more than a week. He was arrested in connection with the April 2nd killing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet at David Kuykendall Stadium. Anthony told police he was acting in self-defense. Ahead of today's hearing, Anthony's family retained Dallas-based attorney Mike Howard to lead his legal defense, according to a Saturday news release from Next Generation Action Network, a civil rights organization. The Dallas Morning News reached out to Howard's firm Saturday, but did not immediately receive a comment. The news release also called for donations to Anthony's support fund on GiveSendGo, which has raised over $392,000 out of a goal of $500,000. In other news, between December of last year and March of this year, the average price per dozen of eggs jumped from $4.15 to $6.23. That's according to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Officials link those price increases to bird flu. DFW grocery stores and restaurants felt the burden of bird flu and rising egg prices. Earlier this year, grocery shoppers found bare shelves instead of plentiful stock, and restaurants reported up to a 25% spike in egg costs. In North Texas, outbreaks occurred in Dallas and Denton counties in 2022 and Ellis County in 2023, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. As outbreaks trend downward in Texas, a March 21st report from the Department of Agriculture said commercial egg prices have begun to drop. The Texas Animal Health Commission encourages the use of biosecurity measures like sanitizing surfaces and wearing clean clothing to decrease the likelihood of exposure to viruses and bacteria. Larger commercial sites have stricter plans in place in the event of major outbreaks. Next up, the agricultural industry relies on immigrant labor, but with President Donald Trump's immigration policies, including his promise of mass deportations, it could cause widespread pain and it creates an uncertain future. More than 27% of Texas farm workers are immigrants. More than half of those are undocumented, according to the American Immigration Council, a nonprofit organization that works with immigrants and immigration lawyers. Ron Estrada, CEO of Farm Worker Justice, a nonprofit organization that seeks to empower migrant and seasonal farm workers, calls that migrant workforce a lifeline for Texas farmers. If they are taken away, the effect will not be felt only by farmers, he said. The food supply, grocery prices, and the economy also will be affected. Overall, labor shortages, among other factors, have taken a toll on farms. According to an American Farm Bureau Federation report, Texas alone lost 18,000 farm operations between 2017 and 2022, the most of any state. Overall, the U.S. lost 141,733 farms in that span. All but 5 states saw a net loss in the number of farms. The labor shortage has reduced productivity and revenue for agricultural and food producers and undermined U.S. food security, the National Immigration Forum said in a 2022 report. Rising food prices felt by consumers in grocery stores are also a result of agricultural labor shortages. And U.S. consumer sentiment tumbled to the second weakest reading on record, while short- and long-term inflation expectations soared to multi-decade highs on growing tariff concerns. The preliminary April sentiment index slid 6.2 points to 50.8, according to the University of Michigan, below economists' forecasts. Aside from a 50 reading in June 2022, that was the lowest in surveys dating back to the 1970s. The results were based on interviews from March 25th through April 8th, prior to President Donald Trump's Wednesday announcement of a 90-day pause on higher tariffs for dozens of U.S. trading partners. Duties on China have been subsequently raised to 145%. Sam Toombs of Pantheon Macroeconomics said consumers have spiraled from anxious to petrified. Respondents were also more pessimistic on the outlook for the job market, with the share of consumers expecting higher unemployment in the coming year rising to the highest since 2009. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit DallasNews.com. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from the Dallas Morning News.